Michigan golfer for the 100th anniversary, and we're here with Jim. So Jim, tell us, how the heck did you gather all this memorabilia?
Well, it's the beauty of the internet these days. You just start searching for stuff. Variety of antique sites, bookseller sites, eBay, and just one thing leads to another, and you keep finding another thing. And gradually over the years, you put it all in a drawer, and one day you open up that drawer and you got some stuff. And that's kind of what happened. So tonight was a really good opportunity to show it, and it's been a lot of fun for me to see people react to it and to show people what their club is all about.
So Jim, what do you think was the most memorable? I know there's a lot of different things, but in your findings, what was the most memorable thing that you found on Meadowbrook Country Club?
Well, a lot of the stuff that I've collected is from the professional tournaments that were here in the 40s and 50s. And while I knew a lot of the results from the early days, one of the most surprising things to me to find out was in the 59 Motor City Open, Mike Suchak won, but Arnold Palmer finished fourth, and Jack Nicklaus actually played in the event and finished out of the money. So it really sort of connects those two eras to today.
Do you think people realize, Jim, that those guys were here back then?
Not a lot, but it's fun to share that with them, because those are names that still resonate, even though some of these other names, like maybe Doug Ford or Kerry Middlecoff, not everyone's heard of anymore. So that was really good to see that.
So with this memorabilia, will it be at the club now and forever?
I'm not sure. Hoping that this night and see the reaction to it generates the desire for the club to have an area to display some of the history of the club. We have some things on the walls here, and we'd like to really, a group of us would like to have more, and I think maybe the reaction we're seeing tonight will help that happen.
And the last question, will you be continuing to collect memorabilia for Meadowbrook?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, we'll look for you on eBay, Jim.
Thank you. Thanks.
In honor of who great people that you're sitting next to, that you golf with, that you dine with, that you swim with, and you play tennis with. We honor those relationships by giving back to our community. And if you'll notice, probably don't, there's a number of clubs that are celebrating their 100-year anniversary this year, just like Meadowbrook. But no one is doing what Meadowbrook's doing. No one has stepped up to the plate to raise $100,000 for charities. But we are. And do you know why? Because we're not just another club. We're Meadowbrook Country Club. And we all need to be proud.
And we have with us Susan Evans, who was responsible for getting some of the charities that are here tonight involved, and she's going to tell us how that came about. Susan.
Hi. The background of this part of the Centennial party is that the board nominated Jeff Lane to run the party, and he had the idea to raise $100,000 to give back to local nonprofits. So the committee voted from a list of 14 nonprofits and selected four. The four are Bridgepoint, Main Street League, Angela Hospice, and Catch. And they all are local or have ties to the Metro Detroit area.
Our next guest, people golf with me, they know I love taking a caddy. This is a special gentleman. He's our very first ever recipient of the Evans Scholarship Award from MCC in 1955. I want to welcome Mr. Walter Ikes.
Alex and his wife Judy, who's an honored guest tonight, and he's going to tell us why he is an honored guest.
I was the first Evans Scholar to be fortunate enough to win the scholarship at Meadowbrook Country Club back in 1955.
And Walter, tell us again how much you earned back then?
$4.50 for carrying double for 18 holes with a tip.
Brutal.
Wow, that is brutal. So, in terms of the Evans Scholarship Program, Walter, how did that benefit your career and your education?
Immensely. It allowed me to attend the University of Michigan, engineering, got my degree in '59, went into the auto industry, worked for Chevy Engineering, Ford Engineering, and retired in 1997.
And I understand your dad was kind of influential in having you be a caddy and that you did caddy for him.
Yes, he was a scratch amateur for Michigan. He qualified for the National Pub Links. In '48, he played down in the Nationals. I carried for him at 11 years old down in Atlanta, Georgia.
So, are you looking forward to possibly playing the new course when they invite you?
Absolutely. I enjoyed playing the old course about 3 years ago, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity, even though the game isn't quite what it used to be, but I would enjoy playing it.
And we understand that you and your wife Judy have been married for several years. Can you tell us for how many years?
57.
That's phenomenal. Congratulations. And we are so happy that you're here tonight, and congratulations being an honored guest, Walter.
She's a charter member of the LPGA, and in the LPGA Teaching Hall of Fame. She's here from California. And as a guest of the Michigan section of the LPGA, she's here to help celebrate the 100-year anniversary of the Women's Amateur. She's also a prior winner. She's also an honorary member of Meadowbrook and was given that honorary membership. I can't remember the date, but it was a long time ago. I do know that it helped to launch, what? 70 years ago? Wow. Okay. Miss Shirley Spork.
We are here with Shirley Spork, who happens to be an honored guest at Meadowbrook. Shirley, tell us why you're an honored guest here this evening.
Well, it's terrific to be here this evening to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Meadowbrook, where 70 years ago I was able to become a member, and by that I was able to play in the state championship, which I won, and I was able to continue on and represent Meadowbrook until I became a golf professional. So they really helped me start my career in the game of golf, of which I've been so happy to have played, taught, coached, and to come back to my home, the state of Michigan, and to come back here to Meadowbrook is a very happy occasion for me. And for all golfers, the best thing in golf is to one putt.
I'm going to now turn it over for our last speaker. So this gentleman's a great friend, and I'm honored to introduce him, our 37th president of Meadowbrook Country Club, Joe Big. Good evening. It's a glorious night here at Meadowbrook Country Club, and I want to thank everybody for attending, and I'm going to ask if I could have everybody, and I mean everybody's attention. Does everybody in the room have a glass of champagne? We're going to make a very special toast this evening, and you got to bear with me. My wife cut it back from 20 pages to 2, so. I promise to stay on script. I promise to stay on script. But it's been a wonderful, as Danny said, it's been a wonderful experience to be on the board and to be president of Meadowbrook Country Club in this special year. But I have to tell you, what really makes it so extraordinary is the level of participation that we have with the committees, with the members. I mean, the leadership structure of this club looks very, very promising for the future. And you know, I want to thank, and of course we've gone through the individual names, but I want to thank the Centennial Committee. I want to thank our staff. I want to thank our charity partners. I think this has been absolutely exceptional. And most of all, I want to thank the members here at Meadowbrook that make all this possible. So please give yourselves a big round of applause. In 1916, the backdrop of 1916 was World War I. The economy was booming. Golf was on the rise. The Professional Golfers Association, the PGA, was formed that year, 1916, the same year that we were formed. The U.S. was still 3 years away from Prohibition, so a champagne toast like this was a possibility. And the organization of Meadowbrook Country Club took place at the office of George B. Yerkes. Pat or Gary might correct me on that. George B. Yerkes in the Ford Building in Detroit on January 24th, 1916. The minutes read that 11 men met for the purpose of organizing a country club to promote social intercourse amongst its members and to encourage outdoor sports. It's still happening to this day. It's still happening to this day. 100 years later. But what's amazing about this is that was their mission in 1916. That was their mission statement. It just so happens this year, our staff, our members, about 30 stakeholders at Meadowbrook Country Club, a cross-section of the club, created our 2016 mission statement. Our 2016 mission is basically the same: to welcome families into an engaging private country club community, providing exceptional service, superior facilities, and premier golf, built upon a century of camaraderie and tradition. Built upon a century of camaraderie and tradition. The tradition started in 1916 with 3 officers. Harry Buckley, a lawyer, was the first president. William Yerkes of the Yerkes Cemetery that everybody drives by on 8 Mile Road at Meadowbrook was the first vice president. And Fred Cochran, on whose farmland Meadowbrook was built, was our first secretary and treasurer. So, you know, I want to recognize and thank our founders. I want to thank 100 years of Meadowbrook families, and I ask you all to please raise your glasses and make a toast to the history and the future of Meadowbrook Country Club. Here, here.
And we are here kind of at the end of the celebration of the 100th anniversary of MCC. And we're here with Joe. We call him Big Joe, the manager. And Joe, just tell us, what happened tonight? Are you happy? Tell us about the celebration.
Tell us I couldn't be happier. We had a great celebration, 400 people in attendance. We have a great committee. We have a great membership. Meadowbrook's 100 years old this year, and it's fitting what we did today to honor our forefathers and to have what we have today and the momentum Meadowbrook has with this beautiful golf course we're building right now, this beautiful clubhouse we just renovated in the last 2 years. Meadowbrook's a really special place, and I'm honored to be here. I'm very proud of it.